let's find out if Kamaru Usman truly is the CEO of EPO. This video will investigate 5 aspects of Usman's psychology and how they pertain to steroids. Deflection, perception management, cognitive load, body language, and the psychology of insecurity. The first and most telling sign that Usman is on steroids is the fact that he never actually denies it. Instead, he deflects it. Deflection is passing attention to someone else in an attempt to draw the attention away from yourself. Honest people want to clear their name as fast as possible, whereas dishonest people who use deflection most commonly deflect onto the person who's accusing them of something, which is seen here.
So that's the real reason he had to let the EPO get out of his system for this weekend.
Kamaru, would you like to respond to that?
All right, real quick. Let's make some noise on December 14th. You guys can't wait for me to murder this clown.
You need to make sure his chemist gets him right for Saturday night.
And what
Marty Usman, the CEO of EPO.
Colby, please tell the people why you went back to your corner in the 3rd round and told your coaches, I think my jaw's broke.
Hey, we saw the photos yesterday. What's all those injection marks around your stomach, bro? Man, those look bad, dude. I saw you with Gage, you look like shit, man. Dude, you can't cover the chemical imbalance in your body, bro. You got acne and craters all over your face and back,
This is another grown man up here talking about another grown man's body. Colby, is there something you want to tell us?
Liars will often deflect because deep down all of us know lying is wrong. So instead of outright lying, it is easier psychologically for a liar to simply change the topic. Perception management is behaving in the way they think an honest person would behave. However, dishonest people engaging in perception management often overcompensate. For example, it is commonly believed that liars avoid eye contact. Understanding this, liars, in an attempt to be perceived as truthful, often overcompensate by seeking more eye contact than normal. Now let's view some clips where Usman is overcompensating with perception management.
You know, I have inside information that, you know, he was doing EPO for a couple years, and that's just that. That's a fact, you know. He has no good response. He can't even defend himself. So I think it's pretty clear he's on steroids. But it's not going to make a difference because when I get my hands on him, he will melt.
Who has the next question?
When being accused of steroid use, Usman tries to be perceived as an innocent person who is bored of the accusations. How would that person act? Maybe they would yawn. However, he overcompensates by faking 3 huge fake yawns, and he never actually refutes the claim. Now let's look at the next clip.
He's doing PEDs. Look, he's got the marks on his stomach, and it hurt my feelings. I'm like, I'm like one of those guys who I'm like, I don't even think about PEDs because my work, even if I don't care, I probably have dealt with someone that was cheating or competed against someone that was cheating.
Usman claims he has never even thought about steroids. This is perception management again, how he thinks a clean athlete would behave. They don't even think about it. However, Usman's brother and father are both pharmacists. On top of that, Usman spent the longest duration of his career with the Black Zillions. Noteworthy fighters who popped for steroids from that team: Vitor Belfort, Alistair Overeem, and Anthony Johnson. Anthony Johnson was famously quoted as saying, "Pay us like the MLB and we won't have to use steroids." So when you're a professional athlete who competes in one of the most dangerous sports, your teammates are doing steroids, and your family is full of pharmacists, of course, whether you do use or you don't, the idea of steroids has crossed your mind frequently. But Usman tries to overcompensate by saying he has never even thought about it. Cognitive load is the demand imposed by a particular task in terms of mental resources required. It is essentially how much mental energy something takes. Lying takes more mental energy than telling the truth. So ums, uhs, pauses, and stuttering indicate an increased cognitive load because it is cognitively more taxing to lie than to tell the truth. When analyzing Usman's speech, however, it's first important to note a baseline to compare his behavior.
So he's like, yeah, I know that guy's doing it because I can see the marks on him and stuff like that. And so when I see idiots online or saying, oh yeah, I know for a fact he's doing PD, I'm like, have you ever been to fucking Africa?
Usman, when speaking about the YouTuber who accused him of steroids, speaks confidently and smoothly. His thoughts match his words, and he really doesn't like this YouTuber. However, compare that to when he starts speaking about his allegations.
It's funny to me because I get it all the time now.
Of course.
Like people accuse me all the time, and I haven't really told the story, but so because I have like 5 scars on my stomach, like, like burn, like discoloration on my stomach.
This long pause after Colby's comment about steroids can also be considered an increased cognitive load.
Marty Usman, the CEO of EPO.
Colby, please tell the people why you went back to your corner in the 3rd round and told your coaches, I think my jaw's broken.
Before I go into Usman's body language, I need to explain how body language isn't an exact science, but it still does have some validity. It's been found that up to 93% of all communication is nonverbal, and it's often controlled by our emotional brain. Now there's 3 main parts to your brain: the logical brain, the emotional brain, and the instinctual brain. The way we process information is first through the emotional brain and then through the logical brain. The emotional brain often communicates what we think and feel through our body language before our logical brain has time to process. The first body language tell, which is very revealing, that Usman exhibits is called Duper's Delight. Duper's Delight is an emotional boost some people get when they successfully cheat or deceive another person or organization. It is the thrill of getting away with a lie, which is sometimes shown in an unconscious flash of a smile. Here's an example of Jon Jones doing it.
That it had no effect on my performance. I've always passed every drug test.
Can you still be
that it was such a trace amount that it had no effect on my performance. I've always passed every drug test.
Did you catch that? When Jon Jones says, "I've always passed every drug test," a smile forms on his face unconsciously because it's a thrill deep down to successfully cheat the system. Now pay close attention to how Usman flashes a quick smile every time he's accused of steroids.
So that's the real reason he had to let the EPO get out of his system for this weekend. No love lost, man. He's still a cheater. You know, he's still a cheating coward, the CEO of EPO.
And Colby, same question to you. No matter what happens, are you going to shake Kamaru's hand?
Nah, I have no respect for that guy. He's a cheating coward. Why would I respect a cheating coward and shake a cheating coward's hand?
The second body language tell that Usman exhibits when being accused of steroids is licking his lips. Licking lips is a self-pacifying behavior often exhibited by people who are anxious or nervous.
There's a reason why I'm not fighting this weekend. You might want to ask this guy. He pissed hot. He couldn't. Sure,
just like I ran up on you backstage. And what
Marty
did you do?
Usman, the CEO of EPO. Hey, we saw the photos yesterday. What's all those injection marks around your stomach, bro?
And in this last clip, you can actually see him exhibit both signs.
You know, throwing out drug accusations and things like that, I mean, are you able to get past it, or does it make it personal for you?
Now, while Duper's Delight and licking lips may be indicators of dishonesty, an even more accurate assessment is clusters. Clusters are when 3 or more indicators occur in quick succession or all at once. Clusters of indicators indicate high levels of stress. So first, we must establish a baseline, how Usman speaks and behaves when he is not nervous.
I wouldn't say the most difficult matchup. I would say that he's very, very talented. I give him props. You know, he's very, very talented. You know, he works hard and he comes to fight each and every time.
Now let's compare that to when he's accused of steroids.
Yes.
Damn artist, man, I feel so bad for Miss
Could you please
Usman.
do that?
Think about that. She's got a cheating ass son and she's got a scammer ass husband. That must be shitty in that household.
Oh, thank you. Could you please make that phone call?
Think about that. She's got a cheating ass son.
When Colby calls him a cheating ass son, Usman's body language totally shifts. He breaks eye contact, nods, makes a brief micro-expression of anger, and returns his arm in front of him. These in quick succession are enough to be considered a cluster, so let's break it down. First, he breaks eye contact. This is a sign of being insecure or uncomfortable. Second, he nods his head. This is a reflexive, unconscious confirmation of what Colby was saying. Third, there is a brief micro-expression of anger. Micro-expressions are brief, involuntary facial expressions that occur within a fraction of a second and cannot be faked. Usman is either angry at Colby for calling him out or angry at himself for being a cheater. And lastly, Usman returns his arm from an open body position to a self-protected position. Unconsciously, we guard our vital organs when we feel threatened. So in the brief moment after Colby calls Usman a cheating ass son, he feels insecure about it, he agrees with it, and then he feels angry about it. But outwardly, he completely ignores it again.
Thank you. Could you please make that phone call?
What do you make of this insinuation from Colby that, you're on steroids, you can't, piss in a cup clean, all that stuff?
While this may just be a cough, coughing or covering the mouth can indicate a person is trying to hide something, almost as if they're trying to prevent the deceitful words from being said. The combination of covering the mouth, averting the eyes, and looking down at the precise moment Usman is asked about the allegations is suspicious, but not definitive evidence. However,
they all say that, with the way I'm beating guys, they all say that, but it is what it is. December 14th, there will be a beheading and everyone will see it and watch it live.
then his voice becomes much tighter and more constrained than before. This is because when we get nervous or anxious, our pitch rises because of an increased tension in the throat area. The constriction of the windpipe, as evidenced by the cough and the constrained tone, is a biological marker of severe stress. On Joe Rogan's podcast, Usman finally addresses the steroid allegations. The main forms of evidence against him are acne breakouts, unlimited cardio despite having bad knees, his KO power, and injection marks on his stomach. Usman goes on a 5-minute rant about how he got burn marks from wrestling. However, he does not address the acne, cardio, or KO power outside of mentioning that Nigerians are just built different. First, in regards to his rant, truthful people try to get to the truth as fast as possible. When someone is trying to avoid the answer, they will often ramble or offer information unrelated to the topic because it feels uncomfortable to blatantly lie. On top of this, take note of how bitter Usman is toward the YouTuber who called him out.
There was this some fucking guy, some dumbass that's on YouTube that swears he can spot people that do, PEDs. And so when I see idiots online or saying, oh yeah, I know for a fact he's doing PD, I'm like, have you ever been to fucking Africa?
I bring up how offended Usman got because we're only actually offended by things we're secretly insecure about. If someone came up to you and said, I hate your pink hair, you'd say, what? I don't have pink hair. It wouldn't bother you because it's not true, and you know that for a fact. However, when someone calls out Usman, the former welterweight champion of the world and one of the most mentally strong people alive, the reason he takes such offense to it is because he's insecure, not about the marks on his stomach, but about his PED usage. So, after analyzing Usman's behavior, my conclusion is that he simply eats clean and trends hard. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and check this other one out that you might like here.